Dun, 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 dun. Welcome to Popcorn, folks, in our new multi-million-dollar theater that we have just built. In the time of budget cuts, other schools are cutting the budget or struggling to get by. Not us. We have millions to throw away on something this awesome.
It was part of the whole Obama, the stimulus project, right? We had some,
Exactly. We got a bailout.
Lots of money went into, constructing new studios in cable access television. That was part of the bill,
I don't think there's anything more important to spend our tax dollars on.
Of course, that's a priority. It's either dig a hole or construct a new studio.
And the best part is that we have a black hole to another dimension in our studio. What happens when I stand up? Woo!
Dude, you're scaring me.
It's a green screen.
That's right, folks. And yes, we can totally give you the weather report at some point in the future.
Well, I think we'll do that.
When we study meteorology.
We'll go live on location from the beach, wherever. It's great, though. It's we're turning a new page here, so we're very excited.
Speaking of the weather, that's one of the few things I watch local news for anymore. Just tune in like, come on, get to it. Screw the murders, don't care. But you had said you wanted to maybe comment on local news, or is there any oddities going on lately that you've picked up on?
Oddities. Well, there was that pelican that bit the guy in the crotch.
The killer pelican.
Yeah, they had a pelican for some reason. Was it Channel 2?
Yeah, Fox.
Let's bring in big birds to our studio. Only good things can happen.
And I think I saw the clip, and it was funny because then they showed it later on in the newscast. Like, haha, look at this. So one of our people we invited in here got assaulted by a bird. I think they even have, just before it happens, they have somebody warning the guy, like, just stay away from the bird.
Well, isn't the guy that it bit is the guy from the bird sanctuary, isn't it?
Oh, is that it?
I thought it was. So, I mean, he should know.
Yeah, he should know
the dangers.
Anyway, I just thought it was funny that made Jimmy Kimmel's,
making news in St. Louis. Birds biting people's private part area.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Well, let's do a few movie things, I guess, right off the bat. Quick picture. What did you think of Clash of the Titans?
Love the special effects. It's a remake. Oops. We'll vacuum that up later.
Yeah.
Love the special effects. I did see it in 3D, so that's a trend I kind of enjoy.
Did it add something to it?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I know every scene probably isn't shot in that manner, but
right. And one of the things they've made a point of, or they've said about some of these movies, and I think Alice in Wonderland was the same way, is that they can add 3D. They can either film in 3D or they can add 3D after they've already filmed it, and I guess it still costs a lot, like $15 million to add that on later. But I've heard some criticism that, the 3D sort of has more of an impact or looks better if you actually film it that way rather than adding it on later. So some critics complain that, don't bother with seeing it in 3D, but, whatever.
There were some strange effects, especially when they were, like, looking at the gods, like Hades. I mean, sometimes it looked like there were, it wasn't like just him in 3D. It looked like he had depth to his body. You know what I mean? Like his back of his head was like this long. It's just weird. I don't know if they were going for that effect because they were gods, supernatural, or if that's just the way it happened to look. I don't know.
That's interesting. Yeah.
But obviously it's a remake. I mean, the original I loved. I mean, I used to love that as a kid. The little claymation scorpions and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes the dialogue and acting left a little to be desired, let's face it. But hey, it's worth seeing. I think if you do see it in the theater, see it in 3D, unless that kind of thing makes you sick, which some people I know it does.
I just went ahead, since I had heard that it might not be great in 3D, I saw it in 2D. And again, it was okay. I guess my only complaint is that, it's like, I'm just a little tired of the whole Lord of the Rings, let's go on a quest sort of things, and we have to try. It's like the Lost thing. Let's walk across the island again to get from it. I'm like, can't we just go, a day later, and then they're there, or something, or 2 hours later? But so a lot of it was the kind of quest to whatever, find Medusa, and then find the Kraken, or whatever, or something like that. So, but yeah, I gotta say, as far as, it's getting earlier and earlier, but if that was meant to sort of kick off the summer blockbuster season, it was sort of like one of those mummy type movies, cheesy fun that, it's good enough. And I saw Kick-Ass the other day, which was a pretty good riff on the whole superhero thing, and it was, I got a lot of laughs out of it. I thought the action was good. I've heard some criticism that it was trying to be two different things, like part sort of Watchmen, like more realistic, gritty superheroes, but also part like hyper real, you know, Kill Bill type stuff where people are flying around and doing whatever, jumping off walls. And yeah, I didn't really have a problem with that, but I guess if you want a movie to be completely consistent in tone or whatnot, it kind of goes off on a little bit. But it does have some pretty, it's R-rated, and it's got some, somebody described it as like Super Bad meets Kill Bill. It's got a lot of sort of, you know, this little girl in particular is this character, she's called Hit Girl. She says a lot of dirty words. You're like, wow, can they do that? Like, I mean, so I guess their parents just have to sign off on it if you have some little girl and you want her to say like really, you know, hardcore cuss words, you know, I guess that's okay. I don't know how that works. And then I saw, speaking of little girls, I guess grown up now, saw The Runaways with Dakota Fanning, who her and Kristen Stewart. It's pretty out there. I mean, but it's a rock biopic or whatever, and it follows a similar pattern of, you know, they have success, they get jealous of each other, there's a lesbian scene, you know, I'm not gonna lie. That's not in every rock movie. They should be. Drug overdose, you know, drug abuse. So I guess the predictability got to me after, you know, I was like, oh, I can see how the second half of the last half of this movie is going to go. But up till then, it was sort of interesting to see like how, wow, a female rock group was such a bold thing back then. And nowadays it's pretty, you know, passé, but yeah, it was kind of cool. So anyway, decent movie. So let's get to your music, though. What music are you going to share with us today?
Well, as our loyal viewers know, we have been picking albums in the past few months or so, and the Gorillaz have a new one that came out in March. It is called Plastic Beach. So, you know, you may know the Gorillaz. Lead singer Blur is in the group as well as some other folks. They do a lot of stuff with De La Soul. It's kind of a mix of electronic, trip hop, hip hop, rock.
What does trip hop mean?
I don't know if I can really put it into words, but it's kind of a mix off of hip hop and kind of a mix of maybe electronic drum and bass and hip hop music. So
okay.
More effects, stuff like that, maybe.
Cool.
But anyway, so they came out in March. You know, they've had some big hits. You probably know too. All their videos are animated. They're making like cartoon characters. With this same animator. It's pretty entertaining stuff. But
yeah, I like their videos.
I do like the album. Just got it the other day on iTunes, actually. I did get the deluxe version, which comes with the video and some other stuff, so hopefully my track listings here are the same. If not, just be aware of that. But the second track on the album, cool beat, and of course it has the lovable stoner Snoop Dogg, who, just on an aside there, I find it funny how in like 91, 92, Snoop Dogg was this target, this evil guy, this terrible influence, you know, Tipper Gore and the parental advisory folks going after him, and now he's just a lovable stoner with a reality show and kids. And
didn't he do like it wasn't Priceline, but he did some commercial at one point, and like Regis Philbin was in the commercial. I was like, wow, once we got to that, you're mainstream, you know, anymore. And
his street cred is gone, let's put it that way.
Yeah, but it does still seem like people occasionally like put him on an album, or, you know, Eminem or somebody will use him as just sort of like, okay, you're the rap equivalent of Frank Sinatra or somebody. You're the elder statesman of rap music, and relevant, I guess, still in that.
I guess he still sells records, or else why would he be?
Right, he keeps putting them out, you know, Malice in Wonderland, and you know, whatever.
And I was surprised to see his name on there when I looked at the track listing, but it is. And the song, it's track 2. It's called World. Welcome to the world of the Plastic Beach. So it kind of kicks things off. So let's take a listen.
All right.
The revolution will be televised. And the pollution from the ocean, now with devotion. Push peace and keep it in motion.
Lottie-dottie, we like to party.
It's crack-a-lackin'. That's a Snoop Dogg term, isn't it? I love how he has invented his own
I know lottie-dottie. We don't cause trouble. We don't bother nobody.
All right, so that was track 2 off the new Gorillaz album featuring Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Doggy Dogg. Well, that's the old,
That's the old. He took out the doggy.
Yeah, it took out the doggy.
Too immature for his tastes.
It's like, I guess, the whole P. Diddy thing. There's just this evolution. Pretty soon it'll just be dog.
Yeah. So I like that track. There's another track I picked also just to highlight the album a little bit. This one's number 5, again off the deluxe version. It could be a little different on the regular version, not sure, but this one's called Stylo, I guess is how it's pronounced, but it features Mos Def, another, actually a better hip-hop artist in my opinion than Snoop Dogg, but just my opinion. So let's come to Coachella. They were one of the headliners this year, that festival out in California.
Yeah.
So I've heard in the past, again, all of their, everyone knows what Damon Albarn looks like, or whatever his name is, the lead singer, but a lot of their videos, they're all cartoons, that same animation style, I mentioned that earlier. And in the past, they performed like behind a screen to where they all look like cartoons, or like the whole concert, they're playing live, but they have some kind of visual imagery. This year I heard, though, they just performed like a regular band. So that's cool and all, but if I got to tell you, if I would have gone out to Coachella for that, I'd be a little disappointed because I would have liked to see how they do that, because that's the only band I've ever heard of doing anything like that, just performing behind a screen. You don't see them, you just see some kind of animation. I guess them animated playing. I don't know how they did it. I've never seen it. I've heard it's cool though. So anyway, if you like the earlier Gorillaz stuff, you may like this. You might want to check it out, but it's got some cool beats and some head bopping songs on it. So I give it 2 toes up.
Okay. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention earlier in the show is that, it's just kind of a sad thing, but in case, what we have here, folks, of course, is our popcorn we eat every week, and this is just my generic bowl. We have a series of bowls. It's sort of like when you see a kid on a TV show, there's really 5 different little babies playing, one baby. So our bowls are the similar way. It really just happens to be bowl I happened to grab that day. Well, last time we used a very special bowl. It was actually my grandma Boehme's bowl. I don't know. I guess I just dropped the thing. It was shortly after we filmed the show. I took it over to the office and it's funny thing because my dad used to tell me not to use that bowl because I was going to break it. It was sort of like Mom always said, don't play ball in the house. And then I friggin' broke the. Well, in my defense, it did take a decade after my dad said that to me for it to happen. But I guess at some point I'd kind of chipped it anyway. So he gave me the bowl, saying, "Okay, you chipped it. You can keep it now." And I didn't really get it. He didn't want me to use it, yet he kept putting it in He didn't have it behind a case or anything. He had it in there with the other bowl. So anyway. Too bad, Grandma Boehme's bowl is no more. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
What happened? So, it totally broke. It's all.
Well, I dropped it and it just kind of shattered. But then first of all, I had to gather all the pieces in my office to make sure I didn't step on it, and then I kind of put the pieces back together, sort of thing, and
try to glue them.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Well, no, I wasn't gonna try to glue them. I was just sort of making sure I had all the pieces, and you kind of have to put it back together to sort of see, is there a piece under, I'm gonna step on later or anything like that. So.
That's sad.
Anywho, later in the show, we will, I don't want to bring the rest of them. We've got some other topics to discuss, but we'll have some other kind of different sort of sad news to discuss later. Well, just, we're going to do a in memoriam section, but that's something to look forward to. I love how on this morning, with George Stephanopoulos, whenever he gets done interviewing people and talking to his panel, he says a couple times, he teases the whole, stay tuned for the Sunday Funnies.
Yeah.
And always before he gets to the Sunday Funnies, he does the in memoriam thing, and then they go to commercial, then they come back and do the Sunday Funnies. They talk about, soldiers that have died, famous people that have died. So, I just think it's weird. Of course you're not going to go, stay tuned for the in memoriam section, but it's like he's got to promote the one thing, and then before you do that, here's this, before you laugh, here's some sad stuff. So anyway, before we get to that, though, the in memoriam thing, was there anything else? I guess we've been kind of bitching to each other about how Lost seems to be just sort of really stringing things along to get to the whatever, hopefully rousing conclusion. Now we know it's going to be on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
Weird. Just okay. I assume it's going to be 2 hours long, and I don't, at this point, I don't even trust these guys to make those 2 hours riveting. I think it's going to be the last 15 minutes or 10 minutes might be riveting, and we get all the answers in the last 15 minutes. But even I love it how they tease us every once in a while. An episode or two ago, he says something like, Hugo says he's talking to Jacob, who supposedly knows all these secrets about the island, and Richard says to him, okay, if it's really Jacob you're talking to, ask him what the island is. And he's like, well, I guess in that case, we knew Hugo was faking. So I just thought, oh my God, they might actually tell us what the island is right now. But of course, since Hugo wasn't really talking to Jacob, he couldn't provide that answer. No. You think Richard would have gone, though, okay, guys, guess what it really is? I'm going to tell you. I would have pulled him aside. Could you tell me what it this? Please, I'll give you $20.
That's what. To me, you would think. I guess by now they're used to all the mysteries. They've been there. They got off. They came back. But don't you think they'd have more questions?
Right.
I mean, like all of them are just hanging out with John Locke, the evil. It's like, oh, okay. So you were that thing of smoke that killed a bunch of people we knew back then. Okay, well, and now you look like our dead friend.
Yeah.
Let's sit around the campfire together. What? I mean, come on. And the whole sideways world thing, the flash sideways, is just a waste of time, in my opinion.
It looks that way.
It's a way to stretch things out. It has to be. Now, maybe they'll have some great way to tie it all together, but as of right now, I'm just getting fed up. And
it really is getting to the point where they're spending, it seems like time-wise, they're devoting more and more time to those cutaways from the island, as if they really don't have enough to do on the island, so we have to make this other stuff more as important. Sometimes the flashback or flash forwards would be very brief, and the stuff on the island would really dominate, but whatever, we'll just ride it out. I mean, what else are we going to do? It's like,
Another thing I really hope they do is they better show how John Locke turns into the
I want to see that.
They better show the transformation from him as a person, because it took like a split second that one time in the temple. He like stepped behind a pole, then all of a sudden, then not only that, but the thing came in from outside. So how did that happen?
I mean,
I don't know.
It seems like they have this weird adherence to, we've got to have some realism, and we can't show people anything too supernatural happening. Like on Smallville, they have some weird thing where they won't let him fly because that's too weird. We got to keep it in the, I guess. But yeah, we know he is the smoke guy. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be at some point where they do show him transform. Why not spend a little money? Like I just thought last night, I thought he was going to freak out and kill somebody right on the spot because they were threatening him. And why not? Why not have him just go, I'm going smoke crazy on you? Oh well.
And the sound it makes too, like sounds like an old roller coaster.
It's yeah, please tell me why it has to sound like that.
Is it the screaming eagle? I'm just very confused. Very confused.
So and then I mean, at this point, it's like I can't even believe that maybe there might have potentially been more people that watched the Masters because Tiger Woods was involved, but. I did hear a funny quote, getting back to local people again. Dave Glover was interviewing a sex therapist. And I pretty much believe, knowing what I know of Dave Glover, that
he's on 97.1, by the way. Right?
Yeah, 97.1 Talk. He probably thinks the whole idea of sex addiction is bunk.
Just like the South Park.
Right, exactly. Yeah. He probably thinks it's total bunk, and yet he clearly wants to talk about it, or somebody pressures him at the studio or wherever to talk about it. Either way, he's going to talk about it. And maybe he's exhausted all the usual. I think I heard him initially kind of saying, geez, if you got a wife that hot, do you really need to, do you really get tired of her after a while? It's like, she'd be pretty hard to get tired of. So they moved beyond that. Now that we're into, let's pretend this is legitimate, an issue, like to have a dialogue about. Again, it might be, but I don't think he considers. So he interviews a sex therapist, and he gets into this long, convoluted question about how, okay, let's say you're not Tiger Woods, or you're not Jesse James. You don't have all the opportunities these guys have. Let's say you're just working at like the Valvoline or something, and you're pulling down $40,000 a year, but you've got a sex addiction. So what sort of things would you be doing if you didn't have all those opportunities? And the sex therapist, just no joke, not a beat, just goes, masturbating. And he goes, okay. He's like, you wouldn't believe how many times I get that answer to my question. He had a good comeback on it, but I just thought it was like, what else are they going to do, dude? I mean, figure it out. It's either cheat or, so. Anywho, well, I guess maybe we should get to the in memoriam. We're not going to, we can't catalog all the celebrities. I just thought, these are some notable celebrities that we should, recently died. We haven't really said much about them on the show. So and it's not very long. We'll just run this now and then come back and move on with the show. Okay, that was kind of gets me right there.
That bowl had so many years left.
I know. That bowl died before its time. Oh, well. Upcoming in the show, what do we got? We got myself and Mr. Jim Watson looking at our the DVD segment today is going to be TV shows that we would recommend on DVD, and we've got Supernatural and 24 in that discussion.
On our new 200-inch high-definition monitor, so that'll be exciting to see for the first time.
Yeah.
And then a movie later on.
Right, with Brian Peters.
Yeah.
Little picture-in-picture commentary for something called White Pongo. White Pongo.
It's going to be great.
It's not at all like King Kong. It's totally different. There just happens to be a big ape, and they try to capture him. And he falls in love with the woman, of course. You know? You never meet the white, the weird ape who's like, into guys or anything. It's always like, it's always that one woman, but she's different. I don't want her. So, okay, stick around, folks. We got a great show planned for you.
Very affordable. They have a convenient tutoring schedule that works around my schedule.
Jefferson College is very challenging.
They have a diverse campus.
This is the very beginning of the second part of my life, and I have a new sense of direction and a new passion in my life.
They are committed with my success.
The quality of education here, I would give it a 10. I'm Kimberly Clark.
I'm Shayna Payton.
I'm Jose Soloria.
I'm Rachel Schrage.
I'm Della Selman.
I'm Nick Schaefer.
I'm Stacy Self, and I discovered my future at Jefferson College.
We don't get music?
It's playing. Don't you hear the music in your head, dude? Anyway, folks, welcome back to Popcorn and Mr. Jim Watson back in the studio.
Hello.
We thought we might lose him earlier this week to the Ebola virus or something.
Yes,
whatever
or
the hell you
some East Mongolian flu is what it was like.
Well, we've got an interesting twist on today's DVD picks. You want to tell them what the twist is?
No, the twist is we're going to talk about two of our favorite television shows, although I must admit with Tim's, I have never seen it, but I've seen shows like that. The second one, we are both big fans and usually talk about it every Tuesday, the day after it shows. So.
Good old 24, of course, is the show that we have. And, I know a lot of people like 24, so we were a little saddened. I mean, I wasn't totally saddened because I thought this is such a great season that it's kind of cool that they're ending on such a high note. But
no, I'm bummed out.
But you're bummed out. You're like, they should go to NBC. And I'm like, well, they might ruin it if it goes to NBC.
Well, NBC does have
NBC is kind of crappy.
Up, yeah.
No. But, my theory, of course, is that they should have killed Jack at the end of this season. And then, they shouldn't have killed Renee Walker, and then it would be like Walker, CTU agent, instead of Walker, Texas Ranger.
And then make it an X-Files thing, bring him back from the dead, and it could be, Topper.
Totally different show. Yeah, then it's like Jack and Renee are like Mulder and Scully investigating. Well, it's a good thing you brought up Mulder and Scully because
Your show is
a kind of. Once X-Files was a hit, it kind of inspired a lot of imitators over the years. Most of them crashed and burned in like the first season. The one that I think really was successful early on, Fringe is doing okay, and that's very much like X-Files. But Supernatural show on the WB, that's probably the reason why it's lasted this long, is because it started out on the CW network, and then they became it was WB, and then they became the CW. If it were on a regular network, it just probably wouldn't have the ratings to keep going this far. But for being on that network, it still has great production values and all that jazz. So we're going to... Well, heck,
and the name of it is, one more time,
Supernatural.
Supernatural.
Yeah, there you go. So
tell the basic premise of it.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's these two brothers, and that's the other cool thing about the shows, that I can't really think of another TV show of the past that had a focus on two siblings, two brothers, two sisters, whatever. Yeah, I don't know, Gilmore Girls. I guess it's mother, daughter. Anyway, doesn't matter. Point is, two brothers. I don't think you see a lot of that kind of relationship. And the deal is that their father raised them to hunt all the things that go bump in the night, which includes on the show things like vampires, demons, what else? Witches. So basically and the premise that was originally pitched, I think, to the CW or the WB was that it's a show about urban legends.
CW.
It's CW now, but it was the WB.
It was the WB, and the WB.
I'm so glad we're having this.
The WB integrated with the UPN.
Right,
and
exactly.
Because they were both
Became
two
the
failing
CW.
ones. And I like some shows from each of those.
Right.
I really was a big Enterprise fan from you.
So was Enterprise on the CW?
No, it was on UPN.
UPN.
United, it was Paramount.
Okay. But I
that
thought
was Paramount. And then I was a big Roswell fan. That was that was W. Now you've got me doing
Yeah,
it.
I know.
Thanks a lot.
Well, either way.
Right. Anyway.
You know, if you watch the CW at all you see is like it's a show about hot young punks or whatever, usually rich, having soap opera type things. Well, the cool thing about Supernatural is that it's not that. Yes, they're young, but they're not like high school young. And they travel the country. And the other cool thing is that they're in the Midwest a lot. They are in places occasionally like St. Louis, or even, I'm ready to see the Jefferson County episode. I'm pretty sure it's going to, Hillsborough, Missouri, there's a, changeling loose or something like that, or a shapeshifter. But they've been all over Minnesota, and having lived in Minnesota for a while, that was kind of cool.
Did they talk like Minnesota?
No, they don't get too much into the local color,
okay.
but South Dakota, they all kind of Ohio, just a lot of Midwestern. Right. So this isn't one of those shows where it's like it only has to take place in Washington or whatever, L.A. or New York. So okay, well, let's take a look at the first clip, and this clip is actually good at sort of setting up a little bit about what the show's about. And the premise here is that one of the brothers at the beginning of the show, this is the very first episode, has gone off to college and sort of given up the family business of hunting things, and he doesn't want anything to do with it anymore. He had a fight with his dad about it, who wanted him to keep doing the family business. So that's Sam, and his brother Dean has come back to get. That was kind of like, I guess kind of a exposition type clip where they sort of set up the coda of the show that, and you can kind of, I'm sure you can, I say it's a show about brothers hunting, so yes, Sam is going to be lured away from the college life and frankly live a life that sounds a lot more interesting to me. Go around, kill vampires, and occasionally sleep with some woman you just met on the road or whatever. Occasionally, not very often. But this next clip shows that the brothers have they don't have exactly have.
Do they look like brothers, by the way?
They look pretty similar, yeah, as we just saw in that clip. But they look good enough, close enough. But so next, they give a little nod in this. We talk about X-Files a little bit. They give a little nod to the X-Files in this next clip, and it kind of shows that part of their way of investigating things is that they usually have to piggyback on some actual criminal investigation. Like somebody gets killed by a werewolf, it's like, okay, the cops are just going to investigate it as a wolf killed somebody. They have to kind of come along and pretend to be some other area of law enforcement. So they've got all these fake IDs and stuff that they've invented to, again, that strains credibility a little bit that they're so young and they somehow are allowed on all these crime scenes. Occasionally they get questioned. But anyway, let's take a little look here at they're investigating. They're investigating a series of like guys that go missing because this ghost woman appears and it at first comes on all sexy and stuff, and then eventually kills them. So ain't it always the way? Let's take a look. Well,
that was an interesting way to end that scene.
Like I said, a little nod to, and I heard a little of the commentary of, again, the director of this used to work on the X-Files, and he said he fought to keep this line in here where they refer to two other FBI agents, Agent Moser, Agent Scully. They've got other little references occasionally to The Truth Is Out There and stuff that show that they know what tradition they're coming out of. And I've told you about this show before, that it's similar to the X-Files, but you never really expressed an interest in watching this kind of thing.
I have enough addictions to television.
Yeah, enough stuff to watch.
Right now it's the Utah Jazz, but also 24 and House or my Monday night.
Plus, I thought, I think one thing you had said that was that you like your...
Yeah, basically the X-Files had two types of episodes. One was the paranormal types, and occasionally I like that, but these conspiracy types where you're talking about the alien conspiracy and that was the ones that really grabbed me, and I have taped and watched and I bought trivia books about the X-Files and to know all about that. Now there were a few of the paranormal ones that I did really enjoy, there was one where they go to this town that's a sort of a bizarre town, and somebody has another being living in his stomach, and that was that my good friend
The
Linda
carnivals,
Johnston. Yes,
the freak show.
Yeah. And then another one, the one thing that X-Files did pretty well, unlike the next show we're going to talk about, 24, is they would have some comic moments. And one time they go to a town where there's a camp of vampires, but they're sort of friendly vampires, and sometimes uncommon vampires. And that was one of the best ones ever. Because it shows Scully and Mulder telling the story from two different points of view. So those are, apparently, you're saying that this show is most all like that.
Well, it's
all
more
paranormal.
It's more magic, or more of the. I mean, I think and Fringe has come along and said, what we like, sort of from that X-Files tradition, is the stuff that is a lot of times based in science. There's some possible scientific principle that governs things like time travel, or maybe even something like shape-shifting, that we could evolve to the point where somebody could be able to alter.
In fact, there are books. I own a book about the science of Star Trek, and then also the science of X-Files. And there's plenty of science in both. And they had scientific people that would, say this is possible, and then, so they would try to weed all that in to gain credibility.
With Supernatural, though, it's more. And again, occasionally you saw, I think, like even the X-Files would investigate something that seemed pseudo, like magical, religious, whatever. Supernatural's definitely evolved over the years to suggest that there's kind of a pseudo-biblical framework for that there's angels and demons out there, and again, there's a lot of sort of dark magic or dark figures who kind of draw on some kind of weird magic energy to do whatever the weird things are that they do.
But the X-Files, for instance, would actually, I remember one time they had Siamese twins, and they went to ones that lived the longest, and they actually referred to them. So they tried to do their homework and bring a lot of that in there.
I think I think Chris Carter had said he's interested in as much as science fact as science fiction.
So he tried to bring it in as much as possible.
Tried to as much as possible, and I guess even for vampirism, they suggested there might be some kind of, thing that it's based on.
And of course,
some kind
with
of
Twilight and all that stuff, and vampires are becoming very popular now.
They're very hip these days, and everybody gets to make up their own rules. Is it magic? Is it weird? Some weird evolutionary offshoot? But anyway, there is a lot of ghost stories on Supernatural, and this episode, this pilot episode, does focus on, like I said, this ghost that she's like a siren who kind of lures men in. But we find out through the course of the episode that ghosts usually are created by somebody who they didn't live in the proper way, or they have some unresolved conflict. Well, turns out she actually killed her kids. Oops, that's gonna leave you with a little guilt that's gonna linger. And so
not exactly like the ghost in Mrs. Muir,
And she also would, cheat on her husband or something. So it was sort of one of these things that she's, through her guilt, she's creating these murders or whatever. And the phrase she always says to guys before she gets ready to kill him or whatever is, please take me home or something like that. And once they start driving her home, then it's then they get killed. So at this point, she's got Sam in the car with her. And getting ready to go after him. So let's see what happens here. Throw that last clip in. I guess I've kind of blown the pilot for everybody since I've sort of shown how it all ended. But it just kind of shows that they do have a little FX razzle-dazzle at the end sometimes. It's not.
What night is this on?
It is on Thursday nights at in our area. At least if you have Charter or whatever, I think comes on at 9 o'clock.
Nationally, the CW is on from 7 to 9, just like the Fox network, but the local one rescheduled it to take advantage to try to give news.
They put their news in there.
They put their news from 7 to 8.
So it pushes it all back an hour.
Yeah. And that's probably clever programming to try to.
It is kind of to reverse the whole.
Especially when you had Jay Leno from 9 to 10 for a while. Looks like that was going to go on. So you actually had an alternative, and
again. They are trying to kind of be what Fox was back in the day. It's the sort of younger, hipper, edgier show. So it sort of makes sense to knock those back an hour and not let, if you have some kind of edgy show, not to put it on at 7 o'clock.
And as I say, one of my all-time favorite shows was a teenage one, Roswell, which was about high school students and aliens. And I was just devoted to that one. It lasted 3 or 4 seasons, I think, and barely hung on. And I actually got on a website to try to vote.
Save our show.
Yeah, I felt weird because everybody else on the website was like 13-year-old girls. And okay, maybe I should. That doesn't.
Well, we've been mentioning all this paranormal stuff, and I forgot to mention that I have a special magic bottle here. Woo! Look, I'm drinking out of an invisible bottle. Now, obviously, folks, this is green screen technology that's making this bottle disappear. And in the future, I will try to bring bottles that are not green to drink soda out of. But in case you see that little weirdness in the rest of this review, it's because of that. But let's get to
24.
24.
Monday night, my television night, because it's preceded by House, and 24, and
it's about Jack Bauer.
Yes.
Agent of CTU.
You've heard about, I can't remember the guy's name.
Kiefer Sutherland?
No, Texas Walker.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah, what was it? What's his name?
Well, it doesn't
all
matter
those
what
jokes?
Yeah, it's Chuck Norris, right?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
All these Chuck Norris. So Chuck Norris is so. Well, I just replaced those all with my son did the same thing.
Like
with Jack Bauer.
Jack Bauer's tears can cure cancer, but he never cries.
Yes. Stuff like that. I mean, you talk about a tough guy, and he never smiles. There only 2 times after.
Never heard him tell a joke.
After we, yes, and apparently never eats or goes to the bathroom or sleeps either. So
one time in the first season, he like nodded off for like 30 seconds, and then I swear to God, that happened one time in the first season.
Twice he laughed, and I'll tell you about that after we see the scene.
The usual Jack Bauer laugh is. That's
but
it.
there was 2 times that he laughed, and I'll tell you about that after.
Okay. So, well, we got some clips to show these people, and I guess we should mention that we're cutting in here to season 4. I think it's about halfway through the season.
One of the things that's unusual about this show, and was really apparently a real constraint for the writers and drove them all crazy, is it had to be in real time. Although if you go through a whole day, and if that much happens in a real day to you, you've lived a lifetime in a day. I mean, it's.
You're right.
Maybe it will come back
have a heart attack
after their movie, and I hope they have their movie. Maybe he'll decide because he wants to go back to television screen. Maybe they'll come back in 24 days or 24.
It is a cool concept, and you'll see how in one of the clips there's the little time code that appears at the bottom of the screen. I guess I'm just kind of wondering, is that really necessary to telling a Jack Bauer story that we always have to be on the clock like that? I get if you're going to call the show 24 and you set up the premise in the first season that we're going to have 24 episodes representing the 24 hours of the day, then I guess you got to stick with it. But if you make a movie, I don't see why you have to do all that.
And maybe NBC will be desperate enough because when I looked, they supposedly it got canceled because of the low ratings. Well, it was 17th out of 20, and NBC only had 1 show in the top 20. And ABC as well, so I'm wondering, maybe they should reconsider. But apparently the production cost, because I mean this stuff looks like a movie, a lot of it.
Really,
I mean the production values are
better
just
than some movies.
Oh yeah. Well, better than a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Actually. So I mean, I guess the costs were so high, and they decided to,
After so many years, they have to keep upping the actors' salaries, and again, I don't quite get why. Who do you need but Kiefer Sutherland and maybe...
And not maybe.
Mary.
Absolutely.
I'm saying maybe.
Absolutely, Coley.
You could do her as a reoccurring guest
Although
character.
we both think that Renee Walker should have been a must as well, and that was...
Loved her.
Oh, God.
Annie Wershing from St. Louis. We worship you forever, and we hope you have a long, prosperous career. I mean, seriously.
Live long and prosper.
I thought you were just hot before. But this season,
but she was a great
character,
the analog,
great actress.
The female analog to Jack.
And she really, I mean, she had to do stuff that you're never going to see Jack Bauer do, like cry or nearly have a mental breakdown or whatever.
Well, you see Jack crying.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
Many times you see Jack crying.
Not very often.
But, I mean...
Crying?
Oh, yeah.
I know he goes crazy.
Well, like when Renee died, he cried. But, I mean, other times... I mean, well, he had to shoot.
He just does it in that kind of manly way, where you kind of shield your eyes and whatever. I don't know, whatever. But
he cries a lot more than he laughs, but then again, I said he only laughed twice.
I didn't like, they did kill off this character, Renee Walker, and it didn't it was just one of those sad things like, oh no, mostly because I wanted to see her do more in the show, but I do say this show is so badass that they will kill off anybody, and you know what? I'm halfway thinking...
Anybody? They almost killed out everybody.
I'm halfway thinking that maybe the whole movie talk is total BS. Like they might actually have a secret plan to kill Jack at the end of this season. I just
wouldn't surprise me.
You cannot put it past him at this point, and that is cool to have that kind of supernaturals like that too. I halfway believe that one of the, they're going to go on for another season, but I halfway believe that one of the two principal characters could be killed off at the end of the season. They're going to just go in a different direction.
See, you value that, but that just irritates me.
Yeah,
we're going to see in the second clip, not the first clip.
Yeah. Curtis.
Yeah, Curtis. When Curtis was killed, that just irritated me. And
well, he's alive in our DVDs.
Yes. So let's watch.
Let's look at clip number 1. Yes. And just to set this up for him, it was this is the whole track of the season was that the usual terrorist attack, blah blah blah. And at this point,
CTU is Central Terrorism
Counterterrorism
Unit. Yeah.
So that but that's clip 2. Clip 1 deals with they've just tried to infiltrate some kind of private corporation because they think they have ties to terrorists, and they actually got some kind of documented proof of it, and they have to then run away because the private contractors are sending armed goons after them, and Jack and this other guy, Paul, who's whatever, he's some guy. They run to seek shelter at a gun shop. And again, keep in mind, an EMP has just gone off, so all electronics...
Explain what an EMP is.
Electromagnetic pulse, and the company set it off to try to erase all their electronic records, this private corporation.
That was the first time I've ever seen it used in a television show.
It supposedly knocks out electronic equipment within a certain mile radius, so everything that's electric just, boom, knocked out. And they do it as a way to kind of cut Jack off from CTU, where he works for them and they can provide all kinds of support, send other people to help him. So, but in clip number 1, they take refuge at the old gun shop. Good place to get refuge.
Let's watch.
Where are we going here? Weapons and ammunition.
Get away!
Come on, get out!
Get out of here! The next one won't miss!
I'm a federal agent!
Sure you are! Get away from here!
Look, we need your help!
Okay. Go, now!
Hey, just relax. I'm leaving. Okay, I'm leaving. Drop the weapon. Now! Kick the gun over to me. Oh, yeah. Get in here. Pick up that gun. My name is Jack Bauer. I am a federal agent.
Well, you should have been here to help us to stop the looting.
You still have any rifles, or they get them too?
Behind the counter.
Show me.
Well, I thought it was funny when I read a recap of this show how they, of course, you find out that these, these guys are Arab Americans, and
they don't paint everybody.
I know.
Everybody.
They go out of their way to show that these are true American guys. They just happen to be Arabs. I just remember reading the recap of it, suggesting that they kind of hit you over the head with the idea, like, see, we're not racist. We don't treat all Arabs as terrorists.
And they don't.
Yeah, they don't. It's just that this wasn't their most graceful example of. You see these guys for like one episode, and they're not. They're just there to basically say, Arabs can be good guys too.
They remind me of the two guys that David Letterman has in his show.
Right, yeah. And those were almost caricatures, even though they were real people, too.
Right.
Mujibur and Sirajul.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, but no, it's a point well made that it has a kind of, this show is produced by right-wing guys, but they do create a little nuance, and they sometimes even question some of the methods, Jack. They have people question the methods he uses. And
in fact, one thing about this show is that was used by a lot of people to justify torture.
Well, there's been that dark side of it, too.
I've seen Kiefer Sutherland interviewed several times, and he's a Canadian and is essentially a socialist, he said. And he says, look, we have 24 hours for dramatic effect. We have to show this.
Right.
He claims that
they're not doing anything that movies don't do all the
Right,
time, right?
right.
This isn't anything brand new. But
he needs to get results, and he needs to get results now. You could tell when he broke in that he was said, okay, you're on. And, and when he tells somebody, you better pay attention.
You better listen.
You better listen.
I always wonder though. A lot of times he threatens people with like, "I'm going to kill your kids or your wife if you don't do what I say."
He doesn't say that.
Oh yeah.
When?
He just did it in like the recent episode. Remember he said to that Russian dude, "I'm going to be visiting your family later." You know what I mean?
Well,
I always wonder, and like the one guy, he told him he was going to take his mom to, if a bomb goes off, a nuclear dirty bomb goes off, I'm going to take your mom to the bomb site. I'm going to be in like radiological.
Look in my eyes,
and tell me I'm lying. And and so he does, and we've seen him like fake like torture, like people or fake kill people.
Well, I've seen him shoot at somebody in the knees.
Yeah, but I'm saying he sometimes, remember the one guy, he convinced him, I'm going to kill your family, and it was fake. Like they actually staged something.
Right.
But they had like hoods on them. Like, dude, you didn't know it was fake when they put the hoods on them. But so I just wonder, like, he really sounds like he's serious. Like, would he really go do something pretty, horrific to get somebody's? Probably not. But either way, let's go to the CTU. We have a clip here with CTU and how they work.
Some dead people.
Yeah, you're right. Some of these characters don't get too attached. They're not going to be around forever.
Which is too bad because this is a show that you get very attached to the characters.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things.
But
I can see killing some of the people off, but I think they overdo it.
You can kill some of the people some of the time, but you can't kill all the people all the time. Okay. Well, the other cool thing about this scene, which you don't really get from the nuance, since again we're jumping in at the 4th season, is that the characters Tony and Michelle used to be married, and now and he used to run CTU, and now she's been called in as one of these like interim, lead bosses of CTU, and he has to then kind of take orders from her, and they have a little disagreement here as to how to search for Jack.
And there is tension, so
there's
take
tension.
a look.
Oh yeah.
Give me an update first.
The zone's still pretty quiet except for emergency vehicle chatter. There's no sign of Jack or Paul. CTU TAC teams are standing by, but the best we can do is spread them around the perimeter and wait for some sign of Jack.
I think that's a mistake. We should consolidate our teams. Be ready to meet strength with strength.
And where would you place them?
At the McLaren Forster building. Jack won't be far from there. Look, he knows we won't be able to find him without help. He's gonna help us by starting a firefight. I know the way he thinks. Now, the hostiles will have to break radio silence when they attack. When they do, we can follow the signal straight to where he is.
He's gonna deliberately engage an entire team of commandos.
It's the most efficient way to be found. And he's gonna expect us to be ready for it.
Stick with the original plan. Cover the perimeter.
Michelle.
If we send all our teams to one location and you're wrong, Jack and Paul won't survive an attack. But if we cover the perimeter, we may have a chance to save them. Do it.
Yeah.
One of the underlying themes is there's always politics. There's always a president. As a matter of fact, the first year, and I didn't really start watching until season 2 or 3, and it just started grabbing me. And then I bought the season. I have every episode. I have every DVD. This is the only show I have every DVD to. And when season 8 comes out, I will be in line and I will get that. But, the first president that they have, there's always a president involved, and he's connected eventually to presidents. But as President Palmer, who is a black president, and my son's watching, and this is long before Obama was elected. He's going, so that was possible. So that was a sort of a groundbreaking thing, and. He's now, by the way, the spokesman for Allstate, and
Dennis Haysbert.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
he was on the unit too.
And my son said, why can't we have a president like that? I mean, he was really exactly the kind of president you would want.
Right.
Very principled, and got compromised, but very principled. And
yeah, they showed him dealing with some moral issues, but you sort of knew that you saw that he had a strong moral compass, and occasionally would make tough decisions that even weren't what he wanted to do, but it
he
was
got put in impossible situations, which probably some presidents do.
And the current season has a president who's really going through some tough ethical, moral questions now. So I like that you're right. The president's always involved.
And also there are issues about who was running CTU. Sometimes they have great people running it. The best one came back and was the best one ever was Bill Buchanan.
Bill Buchanan.
And of course,
I had a lighter.
Yeah, of course, eventually he got killed off. Just like, well, but they and
awesome.
So sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're jerks.
Yeah.
Sometimes they evolve. Sometimes you don't.
Tony was not very good because at one point he basically put the whole city in jeopardy from a biological threat just to try to save his wife. I'm sorry, if you have that job, you don't get to worry about if the terrorists kidnap your daughter or whoever. And if you do worry about it, that's when you resign. You don't try to run foil operations, I know you're probably saying, yeah, anybody would do that, maybe. But I just thought if you're going to take these, it's one thing that's annoyed me about the show. Even Jack, occasionally, he puts his own personal feelings ahead of the agenda sometimes of the operation of CTU. They've got an order to do, and just recently, president gives him an order, and he just said famously, I thought famously a couple episodes ago, I only take orders from the president of the United States. But here he's been given a direct order, and it seems like he's going to disobey it again in the current season. But oh well. The cool thing though on 24 is that eventually people start shooting at each other. So
yes,
maybe we
take
should take a look at that.
Sporting goods store across the street. Let's move. Bravo 1, move in.
Picking up automatic weapon fire at the site of the radio transmission.
How much longer before our teams get there?
The ground teams are closest. They'll get there first.
When?
At least 5 or 6 minutes.
Who's happening? I don't know. They gotta be civilians.
We need to end this quickly and get that doc. Is that understood?
Yeah, I understand.
Well, and again, that's to me something that shows you something you just say. I don't see that on TV elsewhere. I see an occasional, like every 10th episode of Law & Order, somebody pulls out a gun and shoots one shot, and then Stabler, whoever, shoots back and the guy's dead. But they have, and this is Old West kind of stuff occasionally, it's just like these extended shootouts.
Sometimes these shootouts are very high tech.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, like this season, for instance, they basically try to use like a Trojan horse to move across a zone to get to a landline for a phone, for a telephone.
In the current season, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Jack can be he's very innovative.
Yeah.
He can be old-time innovative.
If he wants to torture you, all he has to do is find like an extension cord or something, and he'll torture you.
So I mean, he uses whatever he has, and he's very innovative, and which is.
And he's totally committed to getting the job done.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, it's just
By the way, the 2 times that he laughed.
No, let's hear about that.
The beginning of this season, he's with his granddaughter, and he laughs, and he's Happy Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw him interviewed with Charlie Rose, and they said the only other time he laughed or he smiled was when he killed somebody that he absolutely detested because this person killed somebody very near and dear to him, and that was the only other time that he smiled. The entire 8 seasons.
He smiled when he killed somebody?
Yes.
Oh, this puts a warm feeling in my...
Yeah, but other than that, and then when his granddaughter said that, call me...
Was that when he killed Nina?
Yes.
Yeah, I would smile if I killed Nina.
Yes, me too.
Well, was there any other final...
Have we not... Anybody who wants to follow this show, we've blown half the...
Well, they're not going to remember all this. Point is, you start at season 1, or really, you can start at any season you want, but I would start at season 1 and see how the character evolves somewhat. You do hear some of the same things are repeated. He's had to save the world from, or save America from a loose nuke or whatever. I don't know how many times.
In season 1, it was not a big global type of thing, and he was also more emotional because it had to do with his family.
Right. And they've had different interactions.
And then you see him evolve in that he goes through a mental crisis and he's
like Sisyphus. He's the guy that rose the boulder up the hill, and eventually it's going to get knocked back down. But he keeps going up that hill for God and country, or at least for country and for president and country. He's always got that little in with the president. But
well, not always. Some presidents.
Yeah, occasionally. But and CTU, I mean, sometimes he works in it, sometimes he works sort of out of it, or even maybe against it. But sometimes CTU isn't even around. Like they got rid of it for a while. But
because this show is ending, the proper way to end this show, if we could only do it, is to have a clock, but a silent clock. Just
for the whole episode.
For the whole.
What do you mean? Like how it fades to black or something, and we do that for
remember
like a minute?
when occasionally when there's something, usually they always when they
only do it when they kill people.
Yes, and
so
it's
they should kill Jack.
You may have to do it just so they don't kill Coley. I didn't get to talk about Coley.
Okay. Oh yeah.
There is a bit of comic relief. There is a character who has absolutely no social.
Chloe O'Brien.
No social interaction skills, but she's brilliant at the computer, and she's incredibly loyal to Jack, and she can't take compliments, and but she's right about things, and she's so awkward and geeky, she's actually a comedian, a stand-up
Mary Lynn
comedian.
Rice Cobb.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's the comic relief because I mean when you see anybody else doing stuff like that, you would say, "Oh my gosh!"
But seriously, the first time you meet her, didn't you? I mean, of all the people you've seen killed on this show, it's like it's really hard to believe that she hasn't been killed earlier. But
But she's a tech type. She isn't.
I'm just
she's
saying,
less out of the line of fire.
They've attacked CTU, the place has been blown up or whatever. It's just like, I mean, she did become a well-loved character by a lot of people. I mean, I know Stephen King has said, you can kill anybody you want, just don't touch that little lady. And he does his little John Wayne thing, just don't
touch that lady.
Don't touch the little lady. So, I mean, I personally don't see her as indispensable, but I do agree that by giving her at least a little connection to Jack, there's a little more humor or humanity connected to the show.
Some of the times, I mean, she provides...
And some just
a lot of the humor, a little bit of humor that's in it. Right. I mean, it comes for her, and she's just, and she takes gambles and does crazy things, and
one thing you can say about Chloe, the one thing you can absolutely say in her defense is that she's never been a mole in CTU, which a lot of other characters have been moles working for somebody else. So, Chloe, occasionally she's done a little private stuff for Jack, but she's loyal to her job. Whereas half the bozos they have at CTU sometimes are off doing some. I mean, you got that Milo dude this semester just checking out ladies' butts, and it's just
but at least
do your job. What?
He turned out to be a lot better than the person
right.
who's checking out.
If your comparison point is, Dana Wall, whatever. Well, we got to move on, but we're going to miss you 24, and, Godspeed, Jack Bauer. I guess I hope you don't get killed in the final episode, but I'll totally understand.
No, you do probably, but I don't.
I do, kind of.
I hope there's a movie,
just to
and
show how awesome
I hope NBC comes to its senses and they bring it back, maybe 24 days instead of 24 hours, and give them
just do a movie or something occasionally, whatever.
Anyway,
well, stick around, folks. We got some little something that, you're just going to have to, it's hard to believe, but it's an albino gorilla.
And I got to stay a while and watch that.
Enough silliness.
Oh yeah, come on.
This is a respectable profession.
Yeah, after our triumphant Twain presentation in the library, we can't just be the same goofballs we've always been.
These are alter egos, though.
By the way, I read a student commentary on your. She summarized all 3 of our presentations, which is funny because she didn't have to. All she had to do was go, but she wrote that anyway. And when she got to yours, I think the only thing she really said was, she said you surveyed the criticism on The Man That Corrupted Hadleyburg, and she ended it by saying, he liked to say scrotum. She nailed you. Anywho, so yeah, that was cool. Little Twain, I was kind of glad we did that.
That's my job to teach,
There you go. Educate.
Show them the light.
Symbolism. It's not all just
of the sack.
Phallic symbols. It's, sack symbolism or whatever that is, scrote symbolism.
Scrote.
So anyway, we got an interesting little flick. Did you want to summarize what the hell this is about?
Well, there's not much summary. I chose the film, because my wife is half Okinawan. And in Okinawa, Pongo means fart. So as soon as I saw a white Pongo, this is the movie I knew I had to select without even having seen any of it. Turns out I should have watched some of it. And
I think you've got just the right thing for this show.
Yeah, we'll have a little fun with it.
You selected a good little...
Anyway, in Africa, Pongo is not a fart. It's a gorilla or ape. They're not really sure.
Well, that's the one interesting thing we can point out to help our viewers, because I could have sworn when I was watching this movie, that it sounded like people were saying Ponga.
Ponga.
And they were saying Ponga, even though the movie is called White Pongo.
Right.
What? That's goofy.
And the British are using pounds for their weights, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff that's not quite right.
And no, your ears are not deceiving you. At one point, we are introduced to a character named Mumbo Jumbo. I think the joke there was that I'm no expert on any kind of African language or any language except English and maybe a little French. But it sounds to me like when they're speaking a foreign language that they are just kind of doing their own kind of little babble thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, there's no real language. They're
no
going
real
on
language.
Yeah, they're going...
Mumbo Jumbo.
Mumbo Jumbo. So that's the little joke there. But,
well, it's not, it's a joke to us now, but it's made in the 40s, and it's definitely, perpetuating
Jumbo.
the race stereotype.
Right.
Africans like to eat, white people.
And the mythical albino whatever Pongo they're seeking, albino gorilla, is smarter than all the other gorillas.
Brown gorillas, right?
Yeah, all the brown gorillas.
There's a whole lot of color metaphor going on, but it's a whitewash of a movie, pretty much.
Yeah,
and of course the white man wins in the end. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, that's. It's sort of like you wonder if they were setting up for White Pongo 2 at the end. But we won't blow the ending.
We won't blow the ending. So suspenseful.
But if you know you're King Kong, you're kind of like, oh, okay, isn't part of this movie missing,
Right.
Isn't there supposed to be a 4th act or whatever? Right, exactly. So.
But you'll have a lot of fun, folks, I'm sure of it. Because we did.
Hours. Well, hour and 15 minutes, maybe. If you like guys dressed up in gorilla suits, I mean...
and if you like, walks through the woods and
there is a lot of walking through the woods. And again, this is the lost, call it the lost whatever problem or whatever with movies. And like I said to my students the other day, won't it be funny like when they have to write narrative in the future after we've, I heard once that the teleporter is something that really could be invented in something like 150 years. I'm like, what if the teleporter's invented and your story cannot be walks through the woods or the jungle or traveling across the frozen tundra or whatever? What if you want to go somewhere, you're there in 2 seconds?
What happens to the movie?
Where's your narrative in? Huh?
Yeah.
You might have to work on dialogue at that point. It might be crazy.
This could have stood a lot of revision, and a lot of teleporting. That would help us.
But luckily for us, those little gaps in dialogue and long stretches of music and no talking allow for the old picture-in-picture commentary.
Hey-o.
So you'll be seeing us pop up periodically throughout. But for now, enjoy the show, folks.
Stretching north and south of the equator in West Africa are vast areas of dense forests and swamplands as yet unexplored by white man. A virgin territory penetrated only by the great Congo River and its tributaries. Here in this wild, steaming portion of the dark continent is the home of the Pongo, native name for the gorilla. It was here on the fringe of gorilla territory, in a nameless native village inhabited by a tribe of fierce Negritos, an incident occurred which was destined to startle the civilized world.
You shall have a chance to escape. And in return for my aid, you shall bring back to civilization the precious diary of Dr. Theodore.
Give you my word of honor.
You must succeed. For if you don't, the most astounding anthropological discovery of the ages will be lost to the world, and I will have lived in vain.
I'll do somehow, don't worry. Why don't you escape with me? The glory of such a discovery should go to you.
10 years ago, I might have attempted it, but now it's too late. You are still young enough to have a fighting chance. Now, follow my instructions, my friend, and good luck to you.
What the hell?
That thing looks real.
Special effects awards, costume, Oscar, Academy.
Oh,
hello.
He's so hairy.
Totally authentic ritual there.
Uh-huh. Africans doing what they do best, right?
It's like, how dare they have that friggin' ritual in my... These drums are driving me crazy.
How do they not hear him beating his chest?
Yeah.
Oh, the drums of the Africans are too loud.
Exactly. I like, just random shots of nature throughout this movie. You know, here's what a monkey thinks about White Pongo. Here's what a snake thinks.
And here's what a bear thinks. Oh wait, there aren't bears in Africa.
I can't wait when we get to the lion. He's my favorite. Let's get some s'mores going, people. Come on.
Apparently, though, there were bears at one time. They were called Atlas bears.
Atlas bears?
I had to look it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
It's a myth, though.
Oh, so at one time the myth was was real. And then people realized it was a myth and it wasn't real anymore.
Exactly.
Ah.
But this director felt the need to put
White Pongo's going,
bears
what's
next
my
to
motivation here? He's clearly agitated about something. Seems to have a problem with his walking. Might need an orthopedic type shoe or something. Oh man. Maybe he's just like one of those, creepy peeping Tom type gorillas.
He's got a creep on him for sure. See, this was my favorite stroke when I learned swimming. Side stroke.
Yeah.
See, this isn't working for him at all. Watch where he falls back on the side stroke. Most effective.
Uh-huh.
Now, see, that's a mistake.
There you go.
There it is, side stroke. And glide.
Wow, you really remember that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh no. It's like she's trying to hold him off and then, oh no, let's just freak out. I was gonna try the whole stop, drop, and pretend you're dead thing, but no, let's just run away.
Why the hesitation here? Throw the spear.
Exactly. Maybe if I just stand perfectly still, White Pongo will pass by.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now you see, we found his motivation though. He's going to save the chimp.
Oh, okay.
Or take the chimp back to the cave and molest the chimp.
Or have fried chimp for dinner. He's a really tough guy to figure out.
There's a depth to this gorilla, isn't there?
That's right. He's the missing link after all.
Yes.
Isn't there any hope for him, Doc?
I'm afraid not. He's just too weak to fight jungle fever. I don't know how he managed to travel as far as he did.
Do you think you can keep him alive till Sir Harry arrives? I expect him any day.
I don't know, Van. I'm doing everything I can.
I know you are, but if Sir Harry could only hear the astonishing things he said, it would mean so much.
The man is delirious. You don't actually believe he saw a white gorilla, do you?
Oh, yes, I do.
It's the fever.
No, Doc. There must be some truth behind the stories those hunters brought back from the interior.
About a white gorilla attacking a native?
Yes, sir.
Poppycock, some dog.
Poppycock!
Bourbon.
That's what I thought, until Gunderson showed up. Wait till Sir Harry arrives, and I'll let you in on an amazing discovery. Come in.
Boss! Boat's come.
That must be Sir Harry. Keep a close watch on our patient.
Righto, but you better hurry. We haven't much time.
Welcome to Mojave, Miss Pamela.
Thank you, Peter. It's so nice to see you again.
Thank you. Greetings to you, Sir Harry, old friend.
The same to you, Fen, old chap. My sexy, Mr. Carville. Carville, this is Peter Van Dorn, one of my oldest and dearest friends.
How do you do, Miss?
Oh, the belly blasted sparrow flew up the blinking spout. Then the belly blasted rain came down and drove the blight around.
Max.
Peter, old boy, glad to see you.
I haven't time to explain, but there's a man dying at my home who holds the key to the most amazing anthropological discovery of the century. Would you mind coming along right away?
Let's go. Let's sit into the unloading.
Immediately, sir.
Come, Van. Carville.
I tell you, I saw it. A white gorilla with a baby gorilla in its arms. I saw it.
What does he mean, a white gorilla?
It means that the missing link between man and monkey is not a myth. This unfortunate man saw it. Come with me and I'll show you what he brought back from the jungle. And the old white man who saved Gunderson from death at the hands of the Negritos was the doctor who had accompanied Dr. Friedrich Deardorff's ill-fated expedition.
Dr. Deardorff? What an amazing story. But the white gorilla, what basis do you have for calling him the missing link?
I was coming. This box contains Dr. Friedrich Deardorff's personal diary, given to Gunderson by his rescuer. Here, my friends, is the unmistakable proof of the existence of the missing link. A strange beast of simian characteristics, but with the faculty of almost human cerebration.
You mean a gorilla with human intelligence?
A low grade of intelligence. Dr. Friedrich Deardorff proved it by applying the standard mentality test.
My word, the old chap must have been a bit cracked to be asking a monkey his size IBCs.
Cracked or not, Deardorff's experiments might very well prove the Darwinian theory. I would certainly enjoy the acclaim which will go to the man who takes the missing link back to civilization.
Oh, Father.
I've been hoping you'd say that, Sir Harry.
By Jove, it's worth having a go at it.
Good. We'll be passing through gorilla territory anyhow.
Well, if you ask me, the whole thing's a hoax, just monkey business.
Well, nobody's going to ask you, Carswell. Gunderson is dead. It now becomes our obligation to follow through where he left off.
I hate to see you embarking on this, Pam.
Why?
Well, I can't see what good can come from finding a white monkey, and besides, the jungle's no place for a girl like you.
Meaning you're beginning to regret that you ever left London, eh, what?
Oh, it isn't that. It's just that I can't help thinking of all the needless dangers you have to encounter.
Oh, I love excitement, Clive. seem to have forgotten that I was born on a safari. However, if you'd rather return to London, I'm sure Father will understand.
Don't tell me that being with you makes up for all this comfort.
All right, come on, get that over there. Come on, let's get moving here.
Good morning, Hans. Good morning, Herr Bondo. Hans, I want you to meet the leader of our expedition, Sir Harry Braxton.
I am honored, mein Commandant.
Well, thank you. I'm pleased that Van Dorn was able to engage a man with your qualifications to guide us. My daughter, Miss Pamela.
How do you do?
Pleasure is mine, Fräulein.
My secretary, Cargo.
How do you do, sir?
And Baxter.
Hello.
Now, Hans, if you'll point out our canoes, we have store our luggage aboard. Yes, sir.
What's in the window here? What's at the door? Coming away. Yes, sir, bossman.
Number one, bossman. Savvy?
Savvy. Me, number one, porter boy.
You show bossman the canoe, don't you?
Follow number one, porter boy.
Pamela, Mr. Carter. You will follow me, I will show you to your canoe.
What's so interesting?
One of those riflemen looks as if he might have been a gentleman at some time.
It takes more than a shave to make a gentleman.
Right-ho. But I'm afraid your definition of a gentleman and mine are quite different.
Somebody shut that damn bird up.
I hate
What the
that
hell?
bird.
Now, do you have any advice on how to properly row the boat here? Or, you know, he gave us good swimming advice, but
No, I know nothing about rowing boats. I just know that it's best to sit and repose
and smoke
rather than actually
yeah.
row.
See, this is one of the perks of being a woman
Being
back
white.
then.
Well, being white.
Being white, and yeah, right, being white.
Yeah, white power.
Okay, all I'm gonna say, dude, is if you don't see white Pongo, maybe you think about shooting the bird.
What are you saving your bullets for? There's like 20 guns.
Well, you don't want to scare away white Pongo, I guess.
Take out the bird.
There he is. Oh gosh. Yeah, just random nature shots, you know. Yeah, reminding us we're in the jungle here. All indigenous to
all
this
these
region.
deliverance shots too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what the whole monkey grunts mean later when White Pongo starts speaking, but I'm sure it's, you know,
It's
can you
something
squeal like a piggy is probably
Squeal
one
like
of
a piggy.
I saw that on their show. It was sort of like, I think it was Supernatural. They were talking about like the oddness of this country area. And he's like, are we talking a normal kind of odd or squeal like a piggy? That is one of those movies that you got to watch it just to get all the cultural references. I mean, geez, that is really.
Life is so much richer
when you get all the sodomy jokes, right?
And you can see that fat little man getting spun around, pushed down into the mud. With his little
Ned
butt.
Beatty, man. If he didn't get an Oscar for that, man, there's no justice. Oh, wow.
Oh, look, it's these sounds. They're robot monkeys.
What did he do? He find like an old, trunk there or
Listen
something?
to this. What is that?
I don't know. Random noises from the sound library, tape, Whatever they're speaking, it's more authentic than the human languages in this, right? Yeah. Anything non-English in there, it's total gibberish.
They didn't have a linguist create
Yeah.
that, like they did in Avatar.
Yeah, they didn't work with the Avatar linguist. A whole gorilla language, a whole African language. Let's invent a language. They did invent one. Like, let's not go for authentic.
See, look how real.
Totally realistic.
Why does his mouth move?
At about this point, if we pack in through the jungle, we come to a trail over the mountains that will save us over 150 miles of water transport.
By Jove, that'll save a lot of time, too. Nice going, Hans.
You've been over that trail before, Hans? Twice, sir. Now, about here, we come to a point.
Every day when none of the other guards do.
It's habit, miss. I hang over for my years in His Majesty's service.
You see service in the World War? My father did.
No, miss.
You were Londoner, Bishop?
No, ma'am.
Are you a remittance man?
No, ma'am.
You're presuming too much, Bishop. Your employment as rifleman doesn't entitle you to any social privileges.
I'm sorry, sir. It won't happen again.
Speaking of presumption, your position as secretary to my father doesn't give you the right to choose to whom I may talk.
This is so obviously beneath you, Pam.
Mr. Bishop did not presume anything. I talked to him, and I'll do so again whenever and wherever I please. And if I were you, I wouldn't presume too much upon his good nature. It might prove rather awkward.
And how far from the mountains is that Negrito village?
About 200 miles northeast as the crow flies. About there.
We're about ready to shove off, my dear. Are all your things stowed aboard?
Well, yes, Father, but,
But what?
Well, I was wondering if I could have Bishop for my personal guard instead of Stringer.
Very well. You shall have Bishop. Take care of it, Hans. I hope Stringer hasn't been discourteous to you.
Oh, not at all. Well, I've been observing the way Bishop does things, and, well, I feel he's most useful.
I quite agree with you, my dear.
You've been promoted, Bishop. From rear guard to personal guard for Fräulein Braggart.
On whose orders?
By the Fräulein. You're a fast worker, my friend.
You're crazy. I haven't spoken 2 words to the girl. Besides, I like my present duty.
Don't be dumb, Carl. If you play your cards right, you've got a chance to marry a fortune.
I'm satisfied. Anything you say, but you're her guard, so get aboard her canoe.
You don't like your present duty, do you?
When my services are hired, I expect to do what I'm told.
But you don't like being my personal guide, is that it?
I don't like being made the goat while you punish an ardent admirer.
Mr. Carswell doesn't interest me. That's what you mean.
I don't think you're capable of being interested in anything but yourself.
You're very rude.
And very uncouth, also a congenital liar. Besides, I'm a positive bounder where women are concerned. Most women.
This is the village we've been seeking. I told the chief we were just passing through to hunt the white gorilla. He said the white gorilla had killed one of his warriors.
Ask him about the old white man who gave the diary to Gunderson.
I'm afraid that wouldn't be wise, Mynheer. It might make them more suspicious of us than they are. So what do you propose? I'll ask the chief if he'll allow us to camp here for a few days to rest and do some trading. And if the old white man is still here, he'll seek us.
Quite right, Han. We bow to your better judgment.
Guarda la chef, ora con voi, alla plage, la porta un bar.
Lo sa, che per capire me la via, ma questo va da, metti.
The chief says we can stay here long enough to do some trading, but we can't camp in the village.
Well, I can't say I blame the old boy. He's probably had good reason for it. Have the porters break out some of the cotton goods and trinkets.
Yes, sir. Mambo Jumbo, come me. Ora cola, la plage, la tumbaga. Come on, go.
location. Definitely. Do you think he's the man we are looking for?
There's only one way to find out. How do you do, sir?
How do you do? And whom do I have the pleasure of addressing?
Oh, I'm Sir Harry Bragdon, Royal Society of Explorers. And this is Peter Van Dorn, my good friend and noted anthropologist.
Why, this is indeed a pleasure, for I'm quite familiar with your contributions to science. Perhaps you are familiar with the works of my former colleague, Dr. Frederick Theodore.
Why, Dr. Deardorff was responsible for our coming here. Or perhaps I should say his diary.
Why, then Gunderson got back alive.
Yes, but he died of jungle fever a few days after he reached Mojave.
You said the diary has brought you here. Is it your intention to search for the missing link?
Yes, and we need your help.
Come with me. Sorry, I've no chairs to offer you. If you don't mind the floor, I'll be with you in a moment.
Oh, not at all. Quite all right.
My name doesn't matter. I was the anthropologist who accompanied the ill-fated Deardorff expedition. Anyhow, Deardorff was my friend, and I stuck by him after the others had deserted. And I was a witness to his murder by the missing link.
Doctor, we are very anxious to know what you have in this bag.
Oh, yes. I was going to show you some photos I made. I was afraid to entrust them to Gunderson. Now, that is Dr. Frederick Theodore. In my opinion, one of the world's greatest anthropologists. And they are the members of the expedition with a portion of our permanent camp in guerrilla territory.
Do you suppose there's any part of their camp still standing?
Hardly. After 10 years, it was a constant fight then to keep the jungle out.
These photographs are priceless, Doctor. We'll guard them with our lives.
Well, there are others there showing the missing link reacting to some intelligent tests we made, which you can study at your leisure. But this one shows him full grown at 5 years. Just a few weeks before he broke out of his cage and murdered Deardorff.
We are deeply indebted to you, Doctor. Isn't there something we can do for you in return? Perhaps on our return, you'd like to go back to civilization with us.
No, I'd rather not. My life on this earth is growing short, and my mission, if you can call it such, is about finished. Now, this map will guide you to Deardorff's camp, and I'd advise you to rebuild it and use it as base of all future activity. Otherwise, you may traverse the entire length and breadth of the Congo and never catch sight of a single gorilla.
I assume from your suggestion that Dr. Deardorff used some methods to lure the gorillas into his camp.
Yes. His method was quite simple. He discovered that the medium plant was a choice food for the gorilla, and so he planted it all around his camp. You'll find some photos of the medium in those.
Here you are, Mother. If you don't want it for a commode, you can use it for bathroom care.
I don't know about that plan, Doctor, but keep your eyes on it.
Wonderful. It was interesting, yeah? Want me to pick you up a handbag?
No, thanks. If I were you, I wouldn't do any shooting around this village unless it's absolutely necessary.
Off whenever you give the word.
Well, the sooner the better.
Just as I was going to recommend, Mynheer, these Negritos are not very friendly. The chief and his witch doctor might be planning to ambush us from the camp of the night.
What would you advise, Hans?
Continuous travel day and night to at least 50 miles from the village.
Excellent suggestion, Hans. Where's Miss Pamela?
She and her Carswell are down by the river.
Get everything ready to leave immediately.
Yes, please.
It's become necessary to shove off at once.
You think they could have made different masks? One for the inquisitive look, one for the
Pongo's had some Botox done.
Why, Pongo?
Does he like? I love that running away. Well, off we go. White Pongo, away! That's what he says to get himself motivated. The good thing about this whole thing is that it's totally in stealth mode. Yeah, see, you know, it's really hard for him to see him coming. He's a dedicated hunter, though. But everybody's like wearing white too. Right?
Everyone's
yeah. That's what you want to do to blend into the jungle. Well, again going
with
down,
the rowing.
Again with the rowing. If they're not rowing, they're trudging through the jungle. But, filmed on location.
If they chopped all of this ridiculous stock footage, that'd be maybe 25 minutes.
I know. Well, it's just like when we did a movie called Swamp Women. It was the same thing.
I remember that one.
Rowing through the swamp. Oh,
yeah.
Hey, look! What Pongo's working on his cardio.
Working on his fitness.
He can't just slouch around like white people.
His gorilla lumps, yeah. Lovely gorilla lumps. How could they not see him? The moonlight shining on the white fur. This movie's ridiculous.
Yeah, no verisimilitude at all.
No, it's a joke. Oh, come on, get on with it.
Why don't you snatch about 40 winks? I'll gladly keep watch.
I'm not tired. I'm used to long watches.
If you change your mind, let me know.
Thanks.
are fresh tracks. We ought to follow them.
What do you think, Hans?
Why not clear out the space and set up a temporary camp? And if you wish to do some exploring, you'll have a base to operate from.
You are right again, Hans. My enthusiasm ran away with me.
I'm glad somebody still has enthusiasm. I'm afraid I lost mine crossing that swamp. Very well, Hans. Let's camp here. Perhaps a good rest will give my morale a lift.
Mahakana Dunga! Parasugura! Mahakana
Hey, look what I found. What is it?
An animal cage. Good going, Bishop. This must be the spot.
There, Ferrari, your gorilla trap is all set for the blighters.
Now all we've got to do is plant medium all around the place and onto the cover.
Yes, and pray for the white gorilla to get hungry,
If it worked for Dr. Theodorf, it will work for us, in spite of your skepticism.
I'm very joking.
How do we know if the trap is sprung if we're inside the stockade?
By means of a slight improvement by Baxter over the Deerdorf model. Now, you see that there bell up there? Now, just by way of a demonstration, if you'll all step aside, I'll show you how it goes. First, we hook this in here. Now, Miss Pamela, here's your gorilla. Comes along and gets a whiff of the men job. So he ups to the windfall to whet his appetite. And being a greedy blighter, he eats his way right up to the trap. Well, there's a whole bunch of it out in the center. So, he steps right out there to see what he can do about it. Well, you see how it looks, Miss Pamela?
Looks like the Baxter invention is a blooming success.
Looks a bit like a group of
That's what I get for making a blasted monkey, mister.
That's it. Gorilla bait.
By comparison, a livery stable would smell like a new-blown rose. I'm glad the Creator didn't make a monkey out of me.
Well, it's 7:30.
Pop off. Time for grabbing. Go ahead and get it. I'll watch the gate while you're gone.
All right, I'll relieve you when the hunting party gets back.
Take your time. Take your time. They won't be back for hours yet.
All right.
Beautiful night. Oh. Thank you.
What do you say, Webb? Would you like a chance to win back the 20 shillings I took from you last night?
Sure, I'd like to have revenge.
How about you, Bishop?
Some other time. I don't feel lucky tonight.
You can count me in, Hans. I might as well lose my money to you. I've no place to spend it.
Good night, Miss Hamlet.
Well?
You're not playing fair with me, Pam.
What do you mean?
Well, ever since we've been in Africa, you've been treating me like a stranger.
Well, I'm afraid it's your fault, Clive. I've rather resented your possessive attitude.
But you know I love you.
And I'm very fond of you. But please don't mistake my friendship for more than it was intended.
Oh, I see.
Let's be good friends. What do you say?
Well, what can I say?
Good night, Clive.
Good night.
Dear, what's the matter?
I just saw a huge beast looking in at me through the window.
There's nothing out there, Pamela.
Oh, but it was there. I saw it. A huge beast with flaming eyes.
Control yourself, my dear. You're probably having a nightmare.
Oh, no, Father, I was wide awake. It was real.
But no jungle beast could get over our stockade wall.
No? Couldn't a gorilla?
Now I know you are dreaming. Gorillas are not climbing beasts.
Sir Harry! Sir Harry!
Well, there's nothing wrong. Pamela was dreaming she saw a gorilla looking in her window. It was so realistic she woke up screaming.
Bishop, you'd better take a look around. Stringer, Webb, check the back fence.
disturb you. Please sit down.
After you, ma'am.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Why should anyone observe the social niceties here? This isn't civilization. It's the jungle.
A man shouldn't forget to pay his respects to a charming lady, even in the jungle, Miss Bragg.
It is only a reminder that I'm not easy. Stop addressing me as Miss Bragdon. I'm Pamela, and you're Jeffrey.
Take your filthy hands off her. What's going on here? Answer me, Bishop. Why did you strike Cardwell? I'm sorry, sir. I must have lost my temper.
Go on, why don't you tell him? Why don't you tell him how I found her in your arms and you were kissing her?
I resent such presumption, Bishop. You were engaged as a rifleman, not to make love to my daughter. I must have lost my head. I'm sorry, sir. You've lost my confidence and respect. If it were possible, I'd send you back to Mojave.
But, Father, it was all my fault.
I'll talk to you later. Go to your room.
But, Father...
Pamela, in the morning I shall appoint a more trustworthy guard for my daughter. And if you so much as speak to her again, I'll have you put under arrest. Understand? Yes, sir.
By Jove, we've captured her.
Well, the court agreed all right, but not the white one. I'm satisfied the trap works. That gives me hope.
What are you going to do with it? Shoot it?
Don't be an idiot. If we kill him, all our efforts will be wasted. We'll never have another gorilla come near the place. Baxter, put the leather down for him.
Right, sir.
We'll give him a chance to get out.
Nasty brute.
I want to talk to you, Hans.
What's on your mind?
Well, I'm fed up with this. I'm sick of wasting my time trying to find a white monkey.
So?
You told me that you had a definite purpose in joining this expedition.
Supposing I have.
Well, I'd like to throw in with you if there's a chance.
Without knowing my objective?
Well, anything would be better than this.
If you throw in with us, there can be no backing out, understand? And if we fail, you'll risk being hanged with the rest of us. Well?
I'll do anything if I can take Pamela with me.
Oh, I don't know about that. I hadn't figured on taking a woman along. Suppose she objects to going with you.
Well, suppose Sir Harry objects to your plans. That isn't going to stop you, is it?
You can take her, but she'll be your responsibility.
All right.
Good, I can tell you our plans now. I know where there's a fabulous gold field, and by borrowing Herr Bragdon's safari, we can bring out enough of the shiny metal to make us richer than the Bank of England.
I'm with you all the way.
Come with me.
This is an outrage. I shall spend every penny I possess to prosecute you criminals.
Out north won't help you then, Sir Harry. It's best to bargain with the blighters.
Carswell, I would never have thought you'd be an accessory to this criminal venture. You must be mad.
Shut up. Tie them up. Mumbo Jumbo. Maracotunga. Maradanga. My friends, we are taking all the guns and supplies with us. But if you make no attempt to follow, we will leave a cache on the riverbank, a 2-day trek from here. With care, it will be sufficient to get you back to Mojave. But if you attempt to follow, we will leave nothing.
Come on, Pam, you're coming with us.
Oh, no, I'm not.
How dare you, you insolent young bounder? Don't be a fool, Carswell.
You're asking to get your blue neck stretched. You coming, Pam?
No, I'm not.
All right, Mumbo Jumbo. Bring the Fräulein with us.
Bossman said, come you.
Don't you dare touch me.
Raka has the gona. Pega voce vega with the Mahana gona. No. What is it, Bill?
Bravo, Bishop.
Nice going, Bishop, old boy. Now, if we only had some guns, we could take off to the blinders and turn the tables on them. If we only had some cartridges.
Perhaps we'll soon have both. Sure, Kruger is going to leave them for us on the riverbank. You didn't really believe that, did you?
Didn't you? My dear fellows, Kruger can't possibly afford for us to get out of here alive.
Do you really mean he is cold-blooded enough to leave us stranded without food or guns?
It wouldn't be the first time, Van Dorn.
You seem to know quite a bit about Herr Kruger.
It's part of my job. I'm afraid I'm not quite what I seem. You see, I joined your safari under orders from the Rhodesian Secret Service. About 18 months ago, the bodies of a party of prospectors were found in the bush, each man shot through the head. We discovered they'd hired a guide. The guide's body wasn't there. I can only tell you, gentlemen, that the description of the guide fits Kruger very well. Further, it was established there were 2 other members of the original party, riflemen, hired by the same guide. Their bodies weren't there either.
Webb and Stringer.
Very possibly.
Yes, but what are we going to do for guns and supplies?
I've taken care of that.
Bishop, I owe you an apology.
There isn't time for that now. Every minute that Pamela's with Kruger, she's in danger.
If you'll take command, we'll follow you.
Good enough. Come on.
Foolish to attempt it. You might become the prey of some wild beast. Mumbo Jumbo, Arakan Segura. lose the lake.
You're there! We're getting right back up.
Over there. Let's make it fast. Let's go.
Let's go.
Come on, hurry up with that canoe back there. Mahalagona! Tarakarukuna! Mahalagona! 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 All aboard, everybody. All right, boys. Did you hear me? I said all aboard.
But you promised to leave food and guns on the bank for Father and the others.
I've changed my mind, Fräulein.
But you've got to. If you don't, they'll starve to death.
It's either their lives or mine, Fräulein, and I believe in self-preservation.
Clive, you can't let him do this. It's the same as murder.
She's right. It would be murder. You've got to give them a fighting chance. Shut up. And I want any advice from you, I'll ask for it. Now get aboard, both of you. Sam!
White Pongo. It's like the Smurfs. You just throw it in randomly, you know.
White Pongo.
I totally white Pongoed this woman. I'm gonna white Pongo this guy's neck.
This guy doesn't have a chance. He's not aware yet, but he doesn't stand a chance.
It's like, you know, he's trying to help. Maybe you want to give him the element of surprise here. He's like, let me introduce you to this chimp I helped out earlier.
Why is he tied up?
We're all going to play house later. Shoot, White Pongo.
Oh, the score.
It's kind of demonic. Oh, yeah. I guess she's fainted or what?
Yeah, she's in shock.
Maybe she's like, well, this guy's not big on talking. Her hat's still on there. Time to go to White Pongo hideout.
Here it is.
Where he's got a White Pongo mobile.
White Pongo. Lair. It's his lair.
It's his lair.
Wait, no, that's mine.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
This is White Guy lair, not White Pongo lair.
And with Bragdon screaming, we finally found him. Krogat had been killed by a huge gorilla who was holding Miss Bragdon in his arms. And he was a white gorilla.
Oh, here's the White Pongo lair. What's he doing?
What's the point?
Don't come near my lair. When this cave's a rockin', don't come. I will totally White Pongo anyone who interrupts me.
Noticing things similar with this.
What's that?
King Kong.
What? I love that. Wake up, sleepyhead.
No, but wait.
What?
Wait. White Pongo is a gentle lover.
I don't think it's going to be so gentle if they actually get it on. Oh, when I actually look into his face, his hideous face, it's not so
his
scary
bare
anymore. I
Look.
can, his grimace.
He handles her with kid gloves. Oh, White Pongo.
He's like, seriously, I got a condom in back. Well, you know, this is not going to be a problem.
Don't look at me, I'm hideous.
This is botched plastic surgery.
Yeah, he does have that limp working.
It looked like some lion found Corbett's body during the night.
Yes. Gorilla tracks. From now on, we'll have to be careful not to overlook any signs. We'll probably find lots of those tracks, but the deeper ones we'll have to follow. The white gorilla was carrying over 100 pounds of extra weight. Come on.
I certainly hope his disposition improves. He doesn't seem at all pleased with the fame that's coming his way.
Well, the blinking missing link is all ready to go, boy.
And we've gathered enough men to feed him for a year.
Well, I can hardly wait until we get back to London. I know a couple of anthropologists who will get the surprise of their lives when we exhibit him. You really think he's a missing link between man and monkey?
I am convinced that he is. In the few tests we've been able to make, he has shown a much higher intelligence quotient than any other ape we've ever heard of.
Well, whether he is or not, he's going to be the subject of controversy for the next 50 years. And his appearance will startle the world.
Oh, pardon me, Bishop. Do you think the white gorilla will...
What you have just observed. I'm going to do this in the Law and Order voice. In the jungle.
Ding dong.
There are jungle people. There are people who pursue the white Pongo. These are their stories. Well, they pursued. They came. They saw. They caught the Pongo.
And what a kiss at the end. What a kiss.
I'm sure that cage is sturdy enough to hold the white Pongo. He won't get loose. He totally won't get loose.
It's sound.
You know, and they shot him, but he's got some kind of healing factor, so that's why he didn't have a bandage on at the end. And white Pongo superior in all respects. He's probably got an exoskeleton. Too.
Like I said, you know, he's the robot monkey. Indestructible.
Robot monkey. Yeah.
Terminator Pongo. Terminator fart for my wife.
Yeah, I think this was really the inspiration for Peter Jackson's King Kong movie, not the original.
No.
King. He looked at this and said, "Oh my God, I can just do that with effects. It'll be awesome." So yeah. I guess that's all there's.
What else is there?
Really, you know, I just, you know, Ted Turner. Do you ever think, should I colorize this? No, it's, you know, leave it in black and white.
It looks so great with all the white people.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just perfect that, you know, this is a black and white movie.
It's a whitewash.
Well, I guess that's about the old, all we got to say about the old Pongo there.
Thanks for sticking it out, folks.
Yeah.
Now go to bed.
Go to bed. And remember, till next time, keep popping, Colonel.